Welcome everyone back to Beat the Game. This is Steve, and it's time to talk about our fourth aspect strategy. Only one more to go after that. That is again a viable strategy for multiple heroes. This strategy is called Kamikaze Allies. You're like, what the heck is Kamikaze Allies? Well, we saw a couple of cards that kind of went into this where an ally would leave the battlefield. I think Last Stand from was where was Last Stand from? From the Scarlet Witch hero pack was introduced, and you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. You know, giving the ally one last big moment of glory to do an extra bit of damage, and really got pushed forward as a decent strategy for multiple players or for multiple heroes when the hero pack of War Machine came out and introduced a whole bunch of sneak attacks, save the day, go down swinging, and stuff, cards like that. So these cards were really presented and really helped really round up that strategy to do multiple things, not just sacrifice your allies for damage. So that is something that's pretty interesting. Now, is this my favorite strategy? It is a very unique strategy for allies. Basically means you're going to be trying to go down, you're going to go fast with your allies and deal a lot of damage. But it's also weird because you kind of want to set yourself up for your allies to do multiple things before they die. So it's kind of that weird mix where it's kind of more combo-ish than straight up efficiency. So there's a couple of aspects. And again, there's more than one type of way to kind of play into this aspect. And we're going to review that a little bit here. All right, so if you're one of the more soft heroes, when I'm talking about soft, like the low hit point heroes, one of the disadvantages of playing into this strategy is you will not have an ally to take the hit for you. So that can be a little nerve-wracking. So you're like, oh, I'm putting these allies down and I can't use them to defend and save my butt in case of like a big attack. So that is one of the things that is, I think, the biggest downside of this is don't get attached to your allies. They're not sticking around. You really want to use them for some cool effects. Okay, so before we talk about heroes, I need to talk about this, I think the card that makes this strategy super efficient. It is the card Sneak Attack. Now, the reason why this card is so important is because it is an action. That means it can be done in alter ego or in hero form. Now, what's cool about this card is this one cost event that says, choose an ally in your hand that shares a trait with your identity. Okay? So again, there's a couple things, we know that the traits are on some of them. So some of them have shield, some of them have spies, some of them have inhuman, lawyer, genius, soldier. So there's a lot of cool traits out there. But I think the best one is shield. And we'll see why in a second. Because it says, put that ally into play. And if that ally is still in play at the end of the phase, discard it. So that allows you to cheat in an ally, like a really high cost ally, for free. That's very important. And that is also going to affect the choice of the top heroes for this strategy. Now again, it doesn't mean they're the be all end all, but they just make that strategy I think a little bit more efficient than other heroes. Now there's also a little bit of controversy surrounding this card and an interaction with a card called Rapid Response. Now this is what I want to talk about. So if you can find a way to cheat in your ally, and this is where the controversy lies. If you find a way to cheat in your ally and activate him, let's say 2 or 3 times, and then he gets defeated by consequence damage, you can then trigger Rapid Response and bring that ally back into play. Now, here's the debate. Because of the text on Sneak Attack that says, if that ally is still in play. So technically, the ally that you cheated in is not the same ally anymore from the Rapid Response. Because he's technically a new card. So that is a very Magic the Gathering mentality with the kind of blink flicker effects. Now, that being said, this is not Magic, this is Marvel Champions, and it says if that ally is still in play. So I'm talking, let's say we'll take an example, Goliath. All right, we use Goliath, we activate him, we give him the +5 attack, we activate him twice, he deals 10 damage, and then we rapid response him, and he comes back with 1 damage. Is the ally still in play Goliath? So that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm on kind of like, I understand both sides of the fence. I'm like, no, it's not the same one. But for me, this is not Magic the Gathering. So it's still Goliath into play, even though I sneaked attack him. So again, so the reason I'm a little bit like kind of for he would get discarded at the end is because of the text here, and it's already been ruled that, look, Goliath cannot reactivate his action because it is written max once per phase, but that has a little brackets because for the action, is it from the same card? Is it that's where it's kind of weird. And again, you will have to make up your own mind on the interactions here and how that is going to play out for you personally. Again, you can make up your own mind. There's no official ruling. So right now it's play how you choose or how you feel it. If you want to play it with that combination that works, great. If you don't, no one's gonna be angry at you for that interaction. So this is again why Sneak Attack is a very cool card, but a little bit complicated in that if you're going into the rules and then it expands on that. Kind of like, oh my God, how do I want to play this? All right, so thematically, I think the ally should leave, but mechanically, there's a good reason why it could stay onto the battlefield. So again, you'll have to make up your own mind on that. Now, that being said, let's take a look at some of the top heroes that are going to make this strategy really, really fun. And the reason why these heroes are great is because they have the shield trait. So Captain America, Jessica Drew, Carol Danvers, War Machine, Natasha, and Hawkeye. So these 6 allies have that shield trait that is very, very cool because we know of the best allies that have the shield trait. We have Mockingbird, we have Agent 13 now, we have Dum Dum Dugan, and we have the all-time beast, which is Nick Fury. So being able to sneak attack a Nick Fury in on turn 1 and then make you draw an extra 3 cards on your first turn, make these heroes super, super efficient because you can basically stay in alter ego and have a good turn. The Living Legend, because it is you put that ally into play, is not going to reduce. It's not going to trigger off the Living Legend. So you can still have a discount for the next ally you play as well. So these are all fun things that you can kind of do here. And if you want to kind of play into like I'll use a little bit of an alter ego strategy and I'll have my guy deal with some of the problems and then I'll stay in alter ego an extra turn. So this is pretty cool. So these heroes really, really embody that. After that, it's all about traits. So if you want to play a Guardian hero, if you want to play, the champions are going to be cool. Obviously, like Avengers, Guardians, and that's pretty much it right now. And then I think we have the champions coming soon with Nova and everything. And then we have obviously the Web Warrior trait. So again, we have Asgard, but Asgard doesn't have a lot of powerful allies that, make sense. But again, so this strategy also depends a lot on the trait of your hero. So again, that's why, again, it's a little bit of a complicated mechanic, but it's still interesting. All right, now let's take a look at some of the good cards that make this strategy just completely broken. All right, so I think the first one that we got introduced to was Last Stand. So Last Stand, very efficient card, and it gives it +3 attack, and then after that ally goes, he goes. So Kamikaze 101. And then the two new cards that were introduced in War Machine's pack are Go Down Swinging. So that's pretty cool. So discard an ally you control, deal damage to an enemy equal to that ally's printed cost. So think about it. You can sneak attack, which is also coming in just 2 seconds as the best cards. You can sneak attack, Nick Fury, draw 3 cards for 4, get a Go Down Swinging, attack for 2, and then use the Go Down Swinging to do an extra 6 damage. So he's drawing you 3 cards and dealing 6 damage. Man, that's pretty strong on turn 1. All right, Save the Day. Oh, so there's a lot of threat on a side scheme. Again, Nick Fury comes in, thwarts for 2 or attacks for 2, and then for 1 extra resource, poof, you can remove 4 threat from a scheme. I'm like, this is very, very fun and unique ways so for your allies to do fun things. And it's kind of like a burst effect. So they can do what they're doing. They can do that enter the battlefield effect. And then they can do that extra thing after they've even activated one. So it's not even exhaust your ally. It's just use your ally, exhaust them, and then sacrifice him to do something else. So I love that. And again, obviously, the sneak attack strategy, which is just super fun, again, that you can do in Alter Ego. Or again, you can sneak in some really powerful Avengers. You can sneak in some powerful Guardian characters. So that, for me, it makes a whole lot of difference. So it's very, very cool. And then I think the last one, again, depending on what side of the fence you're on, rapid response. Oh, wait, I'm missing one. 1 second. Yeah, so depending on what side of the fence you're on, rapid response is going to be one of the best cards because you can go in. But rapid response won't be possible unless you're playing 2 or 3 copies of the command team. So that command team will kind of enable the rapid response stuff that if you want to play into it, you can. Because giving your allies extra activations can go a heck of a long way. So those are like the event support cards that make the most sense. Those are like the top event cards for that strategy. Now there's a couple extra ones that kind of work really, really well. So I think in leadership we have if you are a Guardian of the Galaxy, we have the Welcome Aboard that can kind of cheat in some allies for free. And then the other one that we really like is in the basic cards, the Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Again, this is trait dependent. So you need to be a Guardian or you need to be an Avenger, and then you get to ready your characters by exhausting another one of your characters. So again, you can exhaust your hero to make your ally bigger and do more stuff. So that, I think, that is the fun in those strategies here. Another good one that you want in the last one is, again, an Avenger strategy, because there's a lot of Avengers. Call for aid, because nothing worse than having a handful of all these extra effects and not having an ally. Not having an ally to play into it. So again, but that is if you're going to be going through the Avenger side of the sneak attack or the Avenger side of the strategy. Again, I think for the best here, the best suggestion I can make is choose a trait, choose a hero, and choose things that are going to share the traits with your hero. All right, that being said, let's move along. Let's get rid of these. All right, now let's take a look at the most powerful allies. So we talked about shield allies, so let's go take a look at those. All right, so shield ally number 1 that we want to sneak in is going to be Nick Fury. And it kind of feels weird that we're talking about great cards when we're talking about a leadership aspect, but because it's so cool that you can do this in Alter Ego, it's just fun. All right, so obviously Nick Fury comes in, does some damage, or he draws you cards, and then if you can activate him, again, the combo with the super combo here with the command teams, it's going to be like a clutch card. You're going to want to have at least 3 command teams in your deck. So you can come in, Nick Fury draws you 3 cards, then deals 2 damage, and then you can sacrifice him with a go down swinging for an 8 damage. So draw 3 cards and 8 damage is pretty broken. Or draw 3 cards and then thwart for 4 and then deal 4 damage. It makes Nick Fury so powerful. I think the other one that I love in this strategy is Dum Dum Dugan, Yeah, so Dum Dum Dugan comes in, and if you have a few shield support cards like this, obviously probably not the command team, but if you have 3 command teams, you can kind of use one to power him up because you can exhaust up to 3 shield support cards, or actually 3 shield cards, and some of these, what's cool about it is some of those heroes like War Machine, his bunker is a shield card. Jefferson Davies is a shield card. The the astral this Alpha Flight Station is a shield card. All right, so the bunker for Natasha Romanoff is a shield card. So all these things that sometimes you wouldn't even be able to use in hero form, if you have this guy come in, poof poof, he can come in, exhaust those support cards, and that don't take away from anything, and then he can attack for 6, and then you can do it again. And if you have like enough support cards, you can attack for maybe 12. And then go down swinging to deal 17 damage in a turn with Dum Dum Dugan. That's just insane. Again, it probably won't be 17 because you have to set up a whole bunch of stuff. But again, if you have a couple of cards and you're diving into that mechanic, why not? One of them that we're not going to talk about is we don't talk about Rhodey. Rhodey War Machine, because for this strategy, he ain't working. So he comes in, he's got a tough. If you sneak him in, and this is, again, diving into the sneak attack, eh? Obviously, Rhodey is a very powerful ally. You should be playing him. He's very good. He's got the range and everything. But if we're trying to do the sneak in attack or like the Kamikaze strategy where we sneak in our high-cost allies, then he just kind of doesn't feel like super, super efficient. Or he could be, because he can actually activate if you have 3 command teams. Actually, let's talk about Rhodey. All right, so he could actually come in and do 4 activations, and then still get dismissed for 8. He can deal 12 damage if you have 3 command teams in play. So he's not that bad. I think I was thinking about it too bad. But this is the cool interaction here is Agent 13 and the command teams. So you can you can support team. So you can so first of all, you have to have one that's exhausted. But after that, you can ready, and she can just go through a support team and she can thwart for 8 in one turn. Beep, 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 beep. So that's super fun. But obviously this has to be exhausted, but it doesn't really matter, because once it's done, it's pretty cool. Or even she uses it once, she doesn't activate, and then poof. You don't need to have it exhausted. It just, you don't want to lose one of her activations of a support card. But that interaction is like, okay, Agent 13 comes in, removes 8 threat. Yay. So 8 threat, and then it costs you like obviously 3 of these things. But that is a cool interaction. And the other one I like is, Mockingbird comes in, gets a stunned, and then you can have some fun with that. So that is for the shield trait. And then you can have some fun with that. Aside, the other traits that are really cool is obviously the Web Warrior trait that is brand new. And after that, we have a couple of Asgard cards that are nice, just like Heimdall, because Heimdall is a beast. And then we have the big Guardian cards that we kind of want to cheat in. Drax comes in, can deal some attacks on the boss. Again, with those command teams, he can attack for 3, 6, 9, 12 damage in one turn, or he attacks for 9, and then you sacrifice him, 12 damage. Again, Rocket can eliminate like 12 damage into minion damage. Gamora can fetch you more cards the more you activate. So those are cool things that you can kind of cheat in. But again, you have to be a Guardian to play those. And then obviously the best ones are the Avengers after Shield, because we have these crazy good ones. Falcon comes in, removes some threat. Black Panther gets you one of those, either a last stand. He gets you one of those leadership events. He gets you a go down swinging. He gets you another sneak attack, so you can do that again. So very, very fun. Captain Marvel comes in, deals a bunch of damage, can activate a couple times. Same thing for Giant Man. So this strategy is pretty fun depending on the aspect you want to play. It's incredibly fun. But it's complicated. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, this is just cheese and it's going to make it simple. There's a lot of combinations that you want to make it work. So you want to definitely put a couple of support cards into play that are going to make this strategy go to the next level. So that's why it's like, yeah, it's efficient, but it's also, you know, combo-y. Now, I wouldn't recommend this against scenarios like Thanos, which the Infinity Glove. I definitely don't recommend this against Collector, the first one. There's a couple of other scenarios like Ronin and stuff like that. That it's kind of too slow to be a powerful powerful synergy for a very hard game. But if you're just playing casually on standard and stuff like that, then this is a great strategy to explore. Even most villains on expert, you should be able to not have too much trouble with this strategy. Obviously, you're always at the mercy of the RRG, what they call it, which is basically the randomness of the encounter deck, you know. So you could get destroyed. It's not the strategy. It's just sometimes it's just the bad luck of the cards. But this strategy is a fun way to explore the game in leadership. If you want to try to do something different than, you know, ally resources or ally Voltron or, you know, just ally recursion. This is the fourth strategy. There's another strategy coming up after this that we'll talk about next week. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll try to do a couple of videos with like a Guardian and an Avenger, so you can see maybe a Shield character as well, or a Shield Guardian, or a Shield Avenger, Shield Guardian, Shield Avenger, and we'll see where that goes from there. All right, so keep on playing Marvel Champion. Hope this aspect strategy will intrigue you, and you'll try it to beat the game. Ciao, ciao.